afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first ever virtual Bronze Awards ceremony for the Duke of Edinburgh'S International Award. The award is one of the most prestigious international award programs for youth between the ages 14 to 24. Participants design their own programs based on 4 key areas: service, physical recreation, skills, and the adventurous journey. The award is divided into 3 stages: bronze, silver, and gold, each having a set of requirements to fulfill. Before going ahead with the proceedings of today's event, I request everyone to kindly rise for the Uae National Anthem, followed by the Indian National Anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Kindly be seated. We will now have Muzakkir from class 12F reciting verses from the Holy Quran.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا فتحنا لك فتحا مبينا ليغفر لك الله ما تقدم من ذنبك وما تأخر ويتم نعمته عليك ويهديك صراطا مستقيما وينصرك الله نصرا عزيزا هو الذي أنزل السكينة في قلوب المؤمنين ليزدادوا إيمانا مع إيمانهم ولله جنود السماوات والأرض وكان الله عليما حكيما ليدخل المؤمنين والمؤمنات جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها ويكفر عنهم سيئاتهم وكان ذلك عند الله فوزا عظيما. صدق الله العظيم.
Thank you, Muzakkir. Our chief guest for today is Mr. Jonathan Bramley, Vice President Communications, GEMS Education. Mr. Jonathan Bramley is responsible for all communications for GEMS Education: digital, social media, print, broadcast, and our internal communications. He runs a small but very dedicated team who work together to ensure that the GEMS organization and all its schools around the world are promoted with positive communications to the world's media. Prior to this role, Mr. Jonathan worked as VP for Communications at Expo 2020 Dubai, the next World Expo, which will now be held over 6 months in October next year. He also was the Director for Communications for a round-the-world yacht race called the Volvo Ocean Race, and before all this, worked for a long time as journalist in some leading global media organizations. He has covered 7 Olympic Games and 5 World Cups as a journalist, but says that working for GEMS is more exciting than any of them. Thank you, sir, for being here with us today. We now invite Om Gupta to give the welcome address.
Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Jonathan Bramley, Vice President of Communication at GEMS Education, respected Principal and CEO and license holder of the Duke of Edinburgh'S International Award Program, Mr. Srivalsan Murugan, Headmistress, Ms. Sindhu, Heads of Sections, Ms. Priya, Ms. Bindu, Mr. Faizal, Supervisors, Award Coordinator, Mr. Jopal, Award Leader, Mr. Shohail, Activity Assessors and Coaches, Teachers, Parents, and fellow Duke of Edinburgh'S International Award participants. A very good afternoon. We, here at OOB, hold self-improvement in very high regard, and hence it comes as no surprise that our Principal and CEO, Mr. Srivalsan Murugan, registered OOB as an independent award centre in 2015, authorised to deliver the Duke of Edinburgh'S International Award to registered students. Our school's mission statement for this award program is to transform boys to young men who connect with the community, inspire changes, and impact the world. Being an award that focuses on building within its participants a sense of community service and life competency skills, it has naturally been a grand success within our campus. As of now, 102 students have registered for this program and 28 participants have successfully completed the Bronze Award. In its journey to align with the mission statement of the award program, OOB has left no stone unturned in extending an array of activities through the plethora of clubs functioning in the school like Seva, Dance, Environment and Science. These clubs provide ample opportunities not only to display their latent skills but also to hone and refine them. Club sessions, organized after regular school hours, consisted of training sessions which the award participants utilized to the maximum. Thus, the participants have had innumerable opportunities to not only improve their hard skills, but also to work towards becoming better human beings. Over the course of the program today, all of you shall be witness to each of the participants being proudly declared as Bronze Award holders, of course virtually, owing to the circumstances we live in today. And then a few award holders shall illuminate us all with their experience of the entire process. Hence, lest you feel like I've taken up too much of your time, I, Om Girishkant Gupta, promptly and warmly welcome you all to the very first Duke of Edinburgh'S International Award Ceremony here at our own voice. Thank you.
Thank you, Om.
Not all learning happens in the classroom. Young people need experiences from outside the classroom to become committed, responsible, and fulfilled citizens of the world. The Duke of Edinburgh's International Award is the world's leading youth achievement award. It equips all young people for life, regardless of their background, culture, physical ability, skills, and interests. Doing the award is a personal challenge and not a competition against others. It constantly pushes young people to their personal limits and recognizes their achievements consistently. Since its launch 60 years ago, the award inspired millions of young people to transform their lives. Through non-formal education, the award can play a critical role in a young person's personal development and is achievable by any 14 to 24-year-old who wants to take up the challenge. May I now invite our Honorable Principal and CEO, Mr. Srivalsan Murugan, who is also the license holder for the Duke of Edinburgh's International Award Program, to address the gathering.
Chief guest for this evening, Mr. Jonathan Bramley, Vice President, Communications, GEMS Education. Headmistress, Ms. Sindhu. Heads of sections present here, Mr. Faizal, Ms. Priya, Ms. Bindu. Supervisors, Mr. Joe Paul, the soul of this program, and his team, Ms. Annie George, who's been part and parcel of this team. All other staff members who have helped us with this program, Ms. Mili, and student leaders, award winners, bronze award winners, parents, students, and everyone else. Good evening. This is a landmark evening for us at OOB. A journey that started almost 5 years ago with writing to the Duke of Edinburgh Award team in the UK, asking them to affiliate us with the program, and then trying to bring out the first very cohort of bronze winners. And that has been possible for us now. So today, 3rd October 2020, is a watershed day in the history of our own boys, Sharjah. And I must thank everyone present here and people that are watching from India and all well-wishers for this milestone achievement. This award program is something that I have personally undergone. And I know that it is a life-changing experience. It helps young people to get the best possible opportunity and the best possible start in life. It builds confidence, it builds resilience, and it makes you an amazing team member. The requirements are rigorous, and I know each one of you present here have given your heart and soul into this program to come out with the Bronze Award. You have worked in the community for the environment as a volunteer. You've become fitter. You've developed new skills, and you have done the expedition part, which I think is what is required for the gold award. I think you all trekked in the desert for 24 kilometers over two days and a night. I think that has been the finest moment for you all. This is a moment to look back, to cherish, and to look forward. I would definitely like this cohort to move on to the silver award and for further members to aspire for the bronze award next year. It's my dream that we have one cohort a couple of years from now coming out with the gold award. Whatever has to be said has been said and will be heard again by the award winners, so I shall cut my speech short. Thank you everyone for this milestone achievement in the history of our own boys. True to our promise to our parents that we transform boys to men who matter. This is an important ingredient in that transformation. Thank you once again and enjoy the evening.
Thank you, sir. The Duke of Edinburgh's International Award comprises of 3 levels and 4 sections. Participants aim to achieve an award by completing a personal program of activities in all 4 sections. They are: firstly, volunteering. Participants volunteer in their communities and make a positive contribution to society and demonstrate social responsibility. Number 2, physical recreation. Young people are encouraged to improve their fitness and performance and enjoy healthy lifestyles to improve their mental and physical well-being. Number 3, skills. This enables participants to develop their talents, broaden their abilities, increase their self-confidence, and improve their employability. And lastly, the adventurous journey. Young people discover a sense of adventure and gain a deeper understanding of the environment and the great outdoors. Let us now have a fleeting look at the activities our participants were involved in through a short video entitled A Journey Through Time.
For the first time in OOB's history, 28 promising participants have been awarded the Bronze Award, After completing the requirements under the guidance of award coordinator Mr. Jopal Nalpad, award leader Mr. Shuhail Tayil, and the various activity assessors and coaches. Along with the 52 hours invested by the boys towards improving their skill sets and giving back to the community, they also participated in 2 adventurous journeys, which involved hiking nearly 30 kilometers per trip, as well as camping under the night sky. We've all gathered on this platform today to felicitate these determined students and alumni for the hard work and dedication that they have put in.
We will now commence the award ceremony. The Duke of Edinburgh's International Bronze Award will be presented by us to 28 of our promising awardees. They are Abbas Hussain, Akash Arul, Aryan Krishnan, Deepam Damu Naik, Matthew John T. Jose, Mohammed Ashraf Jamaldeen, Soham J. Chavda, Abhinav Rajesh, Kevin Skaria Biju, Zaim Sahib. May I now invite Aryan Krishnan to share his journey to the Bronze Award.
Greetings, Honorable Principal, respected Headmistress, Head of Sections, Supervisors, Teachers, and my dear friends. I'm Aryan Krishnan, and I've been asked to talk about my journey through the Duke of Edinburgh Bronze Level category. If I was given one word to describe this entire process, I'd call it exciting. Now, if I was given 3 words, I'd ask you a question. Just how much? Luckily for me, I've been given a lot more freedom when it comes to the number of words and time, so I'll get to why it's exactly those 3 words. But before I talk about the part I loved the most, which was the adventure journey, I'd like to touch upon the remaining 3 categories. The physical recreation category got me to learn the basics of basketball, something that I've always wanted to do under Joe Paul Sir's guidance. And at the same time, it forced me to slot 1 hour every single day to do some form of physical activity, be it jogging or hitting the gym or doing some yoga. My creative writing and critical thinking skills that came under the life skills section was something that I truly enjoyed because these research projects were a great distraction from my NCERT textbooks. My service section got completed quite easily because of all the work that I was doing as the president of the Student Council, and I thank everyone that's helped me throughout this entire journey. But coming to why it's those 3 words, just how much? Let me set the scene of our adventure journey. So we had just come from a 1 hour long journey in our buses and we had gotten down, and the only thing that you could see for miles was sand, hills, rocks, some more sand and hills. The only things that we had with us were our hiking bags, our compasses, our maps, and our wits. Now my team of 6 decided to call ourselves the hikers with a lot of self-confidence on doing a good job. So we started our journey, we assigned navigation to one of our teammates, and we began. The first checkpoint was just 1 kilometer away, and we started walking in the direction that we were supposed to. 10 minutes passed, 20 minutes passed, 30 minutes passed, and we had still not yet reached the first checkpoint. So I looked to my teammate and I said, "Are we going in the right way?" He looked at his map, he looked back at me, and he said, "Of course." I took the bearing, and it's correct. And I said, "Well, great. I trust you." Because that's the first thing they teach you in the practice journey. So we continued walking. 40 minutes, 50 minutes. It's been an entire hour, and we've still not yet reached the first checkpoint. So I looked at my teammate once again, and I asked him, are we heading in the right direction? Because it seems like we're pretty much lost. He looked at his map, he placed his compass on it, and he said, I've taken the bearing, we're in the right direction, we should see it in just 5 minutes. We continued walking for some more time, and we noticed the checkpoint. We finally found it. So we started walking towards it as quickly as we possibly could. But just as we were closing in on the checkpoint, I heard a rumbling from behind. As I looked back, I heard this black Jeep banging their horn as they came as quickly as they possibly could towards us. Now, the first thing they taught us was that whenever there's a car on a road, you have to step aside. So we stepped aside. And as this car was closing in on us, I was expecting it to just zoom past us. But instead, for some reason, it stopped and it rolled the window down. And inside the Jeep was sitting one of our instructors. So he looked at us and he said, show me your maps. So we said, okay, cool. We'll show you our map. He looked at the map and he said, are you sure you know where you are? And we said, well, yes, we're just 5 minutes away from the first checkpoint. He looked at the map, squinted a lot, and with disappointment, he looked at us and he said, better days, boys, better days. You've missed 5 checkpoints and you're gonna have to start all over again. Start all over again? Really? Now that was something that was very alarming. I mean, we weren't expecting it at all. But indeed, we did walk in one direction for 1 hour and it was wrong. So we retraced our path, got back to the beginning point, started all over again. And while we were demotivated to a certain extent, we did have a new sense of motivation because our new challenge was to catch up to every single team that was ahead of us. We didn't blame anyone because we decided it's not really anyone's fault because everyone can make mistakes. So we continued. We got to our first checkpoint, this time the correct one, got to the second one, third one, fourth one, and with each and every checkpoint, our confidence started to grow and build. As we moved from our 6th to 7th, we actually started seeing the other teams, which was a massive boost of confidence because we realized we were going fast. But as we reached the 9th checkpoint, we had to take another decision. When exactly do we turn right? The issue was that there were multiple rights that we could have possibly taken, and our map had completely worn out, so we had no idea where to go. The sun had already set, we had our headlamps and torches switched on, but as we kept searching for almost again another entire hour, we couldn't figure it out. So we formed our group in this middle, we put a lamp in the center, and we decided that we're gonna have to do the one thing that literally every team dreads. We unzipped my bag, removed my phone, undid the tape, and we made the emergency call. We called up one of the instructors and we told them, please help us because we can't figure this out. Luckily for us, they did show up. They guided us on the way to the campsite where we had to spend our night. Now, on the way to the campsite, I was extremely exhausted and I'm pretty sure my teammates were as well. And I was asking myself this question: are we not good enough? Did we not have the skills to do this correctly? And as I was in this turmoil within my head, we finally made it to the campsite. And when we made it to the campsite, the only thing that I got to see were a bunch of people waving their flashlight, a bunch of people screaming, and some of them running towards us with water. It was like a rescue team had just made it back, and seeing the amount of love and joy that they had in us making it brought me some hope that there might be still a chance that we can do better the next day. We just slept on it, we didn't really think about it, and we decided that we'll discuss it the next morning. The next morning when we did wake up, we sat in a circle, put our lamp in the middle, and we decided that today we weren't going to mess up. Today we were going to ensure that we always took the left whenever we had to. and that we would actually time the distances that we were covering. And we actually made it to the final destination without any hitches at all. Now, why do I say the three words to describe this journey and my entire experience of the Duke of Edinburgh program to be just how much? When we sat in that morning, we could have very well given up. We could have said that this is not our cup of tea, we don't have the skills, and we can't handle it. But at that moment, the question that was asked to us was just how much are you willing to do better? Just how much are you willing to take on before you give up? Just how much are you willing to learn from your previous mistakes and do better? And the same question was something I kept asking myself throughout the entire Duke of Edinburgh process. Just how much are you willing to do to run the last lap? To work late nights before your research project submission deadline? To take on pressure and ensure that the process of the event goes smoothly and that there are no hitches? Every single awardee in this audience today will tell you the same story, that they asked themselves just how much were they willing to do to get better. And they will also tell you that they learned how to realize what their limitations are and learned how to overcome those limitations. At this point, I'd like to thank the school for allowing me to take part in this beautiful program. And I'm sure that literally everyone in this audience will probably be looking forward to or should never miss out on this process, because it's one that will teach you how to overcome what you think is impossible for yourself.
Thank you, Aryan.
We will now present the Bronze Award to the next 10 awardees. They are Adarsh Ramakrishnan of 10A, the first person to complete the award. Ahmed Azim of 12C. Aditya Radhakrishnan Nair of 12D. Ekamjot Singh of 12A. Gideon Pishardi of 12F. Joseph Ruan Mendez of 12A. Om Girishkant Gupta of 12A. Sanjeev Kanappan of 12C. Varun Krishna of 12F. Aradhya Vijay Gujar of 11C.
May I now invite Mohammed Ashraf to share his Bronze Award experience.
Under the guidance of Jopal sir and Shuhail sir, this program has been brilliant in every sense of the term. Right from day one, Jopal sir had been after us, reminding us to set our goals and complete them. There were times when I had to evade confronting him for the fear of being questioned for not completing my task for the week. The tough part of this award for me was being consistent, as we had to do an hour of each activity every single week if we were to complete it over a period of 6 months. But we didn't have to worry at most times, since the school was always there to help us complete them. As for social service, me and my friends were able to do it quite independently. We had decided to conduct a cleanup campaign to tidy up the streets and beaches. It was then that I realized that most people literally don't know how to dispose waste in the right manner. While we went cleaning over a small area, we were able to fill up 3 bags of garbage. It made me realize the toughness in the street cleaner's job, which can easily be elevated if each one of us owned up for our actions and behaved more responsibly. Jopal sir, thank you for training us to play basketball, a game I enjoy playing very much now and didn't know I had the talent for it. At this moment, I wish I could have stayed on for the silver award and learned much more. I'm very grateful to Noor ma'am for guiding us with learning Python. And to put our Python skills to the test, We had to create a program for the greatest game of all time, tic-tac-toe. But since I won against my own program, I don't know whether to be elated or disheartened. Everyone saves their best trick for the last, and the award did the same. The adventure journey was one of a kind experience, and I had always wanted to do something like it. In fact, more than achieving an international award, my key motivation to take part in the DOE award was this attraction. In fact, I was only glad when we had to do the journey twice, since we had a practice journey and the qualifying journey that followed suit. Our groups were made by equally distributing the participants grade wise. So each group contained 10th graders, 11th graders, and 12th graders. Well, like any group filled with socially awkward teenagers. We weren't that close at the start, but grew on each other by the end. We had noticed during the practice journey that our eco venture guides had collected firewood for a campfire and inquired if we were allowed to do so too. Once we got our approval during the qualifying journey, we collected firewood on the way to our campsite. Having a campfire made the campsite aesthetic, gave an authentic camping vibe, and a good place for clicks. Well, I don't want to give you any more spoilers regarding the adventure journey, so please experience it for yourself. The whole award experience was a bit rocky at the start, but really, really amazing towards the end. It's really sad that I won't be here for the silver award, but my juniors are luckier, and I hope they enjoy the silver award as much as I would have.
Thank you, Ashraf. Now we will present the Bronze Award to the final 8 awardees. They are Ahmed Gayas of 11A, Akhilesh Patil of 11B, Joy Rupin Das of 11C, Kyle Glenn Parker of 11D, Reinal Jaden Lobo of 11G, Sean Inan Shaju of 11B, Vishwesh Paresh Motkoikar of 11B, and finally, Karan Dhyaneshwar Shah of 10A.
Finally, I invite Soham J. Chawda to share his Bronze Award experience with us. None of us would have been able to tell you just how enriching the Duke of Edinburgh award journey was that we all embarked on nearly a year ago. However, having been through the process once, I can confidently say that it was one of the best experiences of my entire schooling life. Getting to bond with people through a team sport such as basketball, having each other's backs and cheering your teammates on, and getting better at the sport, one basket at a time. Also, getting to hone my creative side and come up with stories that allowed my imagination to run wild. Seeing that the world you want to create has almost no boundaries in the literary world. And getting to volunteer and feel an unparalleled sense of satisfaction, knowing that you have helped make even one life just that little bit better. And who could forget the grueling yet rewarding adventure journey? When we began our journey, the destination seemed so far. We thought we would never make it. Everyone taking it one step at a time, one foot in front of the other, and we keep marching on. And then, all of a sudden, we're there, pitching our tents, cooking our foods, sharing food between the groups, the conversations under the starlit sky. From start to finish, the adventure journey was a dream come true. If someone had handed me a map and a compass and told me to find my way around before this adventure journey, I would have lost my way in 10 steps. But now, I'm fairly certain I'd make it back home. The bonds I made on the way through this adventure and through this award are ones that'll last me a lifetime, because we faced all our challenges shoulder to shoulder and gotten through it together. I cannot thank the facilitators and Duke of Edinburgh enough for this entire experience. It has made me a better person. Thank you, Soham.
We have now come to the end of the first ever virtual Duke of Edinburgh's International Bronze Award ceremony.
May I now invite our chief guest, Mr. Jonathan Bramley, to address the gathering.
My dear young men, I should of course start by congratulating you so much on your wonderful achievement in passing your Bronze Award for the Duke of Edinburgh Award Scheme. Your stories that I've just heard are very, very inspiring. And if ever you want to come and work with me in the communications team, you just give me the word. I must admit that as a young man like you, I always wanted to tackle the award scheme. Yes, it really has been going on that long, but I never achieved it, and I'm not sure if it's too late for me now. In my experience, life often gives you repeated chances, and it's invariably up to you whether you grasp them or not. And when your inspiring principal, Mr. Sri Murugan, offered me the chance to speak to you all today, I must admit that I jumped at that opportunity. In my mind's eye, I could see myself in your shoes, with all the wonderful opportunities that lie ahead of you in the years and decades ahead. What would I have advised my teenage self, I wonder, if I could turn the clock back some 40 years or so to when I was an A-level student, full of promise and energy, but with also my own doubts and anxieties that maybe you share about your future. Like you all, I was very blessed to attend a wonderful school full of dedicated and passionate teachers. And I had the good fortune to have a group of great friends, many of whom have remained in touch with me and are close to me throughout my life. And if your life turns out anything like mine, you will find many forks in the road when you will have big decisions to make that will shape your future. Decisions about which university course you wish to take, the career that you wish to embark on, where you want to settle your life, the person you wish to marry, and when and if to have children of your own. The list of such decisions in life is very long. And it's really important then that you equip yourself as young men with the key foundation stones of character to help guide you through your life, and those core values that will always guide you in the right direction. As a young man myself, I was driven by a fierce ambition to be a sports writer for a newspaper. And I loved sports as a child, and I had a certain flair for writing. So sports journalism seemed an obvious path to me. And sure enough, by my mid-20s, I found myself working on a large national newspaper in London, fulfilling those dreams. My life involved meeting the sporting heroes of the day. And I went on to cover a total of 7 Olympic Games, 3 Cricket World Cups, 3 Football World Cups, and many, many other sporting highlights over the years. And along the way, I met many of the great figures that you will surely know: David Beckham, Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Sachin Tendulkar, DS Dhoni, Usain Bolt, Tiger Woods, and many, many others. And then something very strange happened to me. I found that my life dream wasn't enough. I wanted new challenges. I wanted to stretch myself by taking on something new. And then, as if by magic, an opportunity came along for me to move to another country, Spain, after decades working in London. And I became the director of communications for a round the world yacht race. It was called the Volvo Ocean Race. Some of you may have heard of it, as Abu Dhabi's team won the top prize about 5 years ago.
And suddenly new worlds literally opened up for me as I went around the globe, twice directing all the TV, radio, online, and print coverage of this amazing event. Fast forward another 5 years, and another call came through to me, this time offering me the opportunity to step out of the sports world and to join the next World Expo organization in a faraway place called Dubai that I had visited sporadically over the years. Again, I decided to grasp the chance to branch out in a totally new direction. And the next 4 years were some of the most fulfilling of my life, as we welcomed no less than 191 countries from around the world to join us in showcasing a bright new future for the planet at Expo 2020 Dubai. And then we all know what happened. Smash! COVID-19 came along this year to put all our plans on hold, and suddenly halfway through the year, I found myself searching for a new position for the first time in my long career. Fortunately, again, along came another of those forks in the road, and I had the wonderful opportunity to join GEMS Education as the Vice President of Communication and help all our wonderful schools tell their story of our mission to provide a great education for every child that we can. In many ways, this role is proving the most fulfilling of my life. After all, what can possibly be more important than playing a small part in ensuring that our young people have the best chance they can in helping build a better world for us all? And yet, if I'd gone back all those years to speak to my 17-year-old self at school, I would have shaken my head in disbelief at the way my future career turned out. So in many ways, this would have been the very first piece of advice I would have given myself. Keep an open mind about your future. Be open for all the challenges that life will offer you, and don't be afraid to grasp them. As one very wise man once said, by the time you reach old age, it is only the challenges in life that you didn't take up that you regret, and not the ones that you did pursue. I would have also impressed on my young self the all-important need to be yourself. Each and every one of us is unique with a different family background, experiences, skills, and ambitions. And to each stage of your life, you are bringing that unique mixture. And it is so important that you don't water it down by conforming to what others say or believe. Be yourself. Be the authentic you throughout your life, whether at home or at work. Employers will be paying for your skills and your life experience, and you will shortchange them if you are not yourself and do not deliver your own honestly held opinions and ideas. The third piece of advice that I would offer you, my younger self, is the need for respect, both for yourself and all others. You will find yourself oftentimes in life in situations that will suggest that you take a course that your conscience is not comfortable with, but may offer you short-term gain. My sincere advice is don't do it. Respect yourself and your family and teachers who have helped guide your character by following your own well-developed sense of right and wrong, and stick to it. You will all inevitably make mistakes, but at least you know that you've made them for the right reasons, based on all the information that you had at the time. And that way you will sleep better at night. And also respect everybody that you run into in life, whether that be the doorman, your maid, your parents, or your future boss. In my experience, treating everyone politely and with equal respect will not only make you feel better, but gain you a reputation that all the money and qualifications in the world can never buy you. When in times of challenge, as I faced earlier this year, you need a helping hand, you will find many, many out there to assist you in your hour of need. A very wise man I once worked with said that everybody's personality, when all said and done, could be summed up in one word. And it was up to each and every one of us to decide what that one word should be. I know what I wanted mine to be: respected. Think hard about what you want your one word to describe you will be. So I guess those would have been 3 key messages I would have given the younger me some 4 decades ago. Be open to all opportunities and grasp them one by one. Be yourself and authentic at all times, and treat all with respect. I will close by wishing you all the very best as you bridge the gap between boyhood and becoming a man. For those of us coming to the latter stages of our careers, we are looking on all of you now with great hope for the promise that you bring to the world. To me, a real man is not judged by how much money he makes or even the qualifications and honours he garners along the way, but the way he leads his life with honour and compassion. Stand by your principles and fulfil your potential by building on the great foundations your school and families have given you. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We now have a musical performance by a quartet from the musical team of our own.
I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I am met the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me away. I think the world could be the version of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. There's a house we can build. Every room inside is filled with things from far away. Special things I compile, each one that make you smile on a rainy day. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care if they call us crazy. We're on the way to a world that we design. Every night I met the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be. We're pushing off the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
What an amazing performance! Thank you, Ms. Shireen and team. At this point, it is only pertinent to mention our dear teachers who played the role of activity assessors and coaches throughout the journey. Our immense gratitude to Miss Mili Thomas, Mr. Shane Allieu, Miss Sophie Matthews, Miss Sujata Nair, Miss Annie George, Miss Noor Al Ain Shahinshah, Miss Sunita Sudhakaran, Miss Shireen Joji, Mr. Kajal Kumar Nandi, Mr. Sanoj Abdu, Mr. Ajish Joseph, Mr. Joy George, Miss Clarissa Martins, Miss Zainab Hussain, Miss Poonam Kevlani, Award Leader Mr. Shuhail Tayil, and Award Coordinator Mr. Jopal Nalpat.
We now invite Vishwesh Madkoikar to deliver the vote of thanks.
A wise man once said, coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success. This is one among many other traits the Duke of Edinburgh award journey has taught us, which includes learning new skills, endurance, and most importantly, self-belief. Truly, gratitude is the drive of the heart, and falls upon me, Vishwesh Madkoikar, to spell out the vote of thanks to all those who played a major role in making this dream of an event come true. First and foremost, I extend our utmost gratitude to our chief guest, Mr. Jonathan Bramley, for gracing us with his presence today. As we had mentioned before, this is the first time that our school as an independent award center has delivered the award, since we started this program as an initiative by our principal and CEO, Mr. Srivalsan Murugan, in 2015. Therefore, on behalf of all of the awardees, we would like to thank our principal for giving us this opportunity. The Duke of Edinburgh award management team had faced a lot of difficulties, especially during the foundation review. For helping them overcome these obstacles, thank you, Sindhu. We would also like to thank Ms. Wesam F. Mohammed, Government Relations Executive, for her continued support in taking permissions from the Ministry. We extend our gratitude to our award coordinator, Mr. Jopal Nalpat, who worked tirelessly to help us reach our goals. Special thanks to Mr. Shuhail Tayil, the award leader, and Mr. Ajish Joseph, who accompanied the participants for the adventurous journey at Wadi Helio and Uthappa. We are thankful to all the activity coaches and assessors for your involvement in the award. Without your guidance and support, our participants could not have acquired this achievement. We would also like to extend our gratitude towards Mr. Bobby Varghese, MSO, Mr. Davis Paulose, Assistant MSO, Ms. Shruti Uthappa, HR, Mr. Ajit George Joseph, ICT Engineer, for their timely support. I would also like to thank the Accounts Department, Mr. Madhusudhanan and Ms. Shanti, for all their support throughout the event. Finally, I would like to thank the Duke of Edinburgh award ceremony team who worked tirelessly for the past week to set up today's beautiful event, which included Akash Arul for the promo video, Sanjeev Kanappan for designing the invitation card, Kathir Selvan, Rohindra Srinivasan, Taha Shabbir, Dhruv Bose, and Ashay Rani for representing the technical team, Om Gupta, Kiran Bishardi, and Aditya Nair as the main speakers, Miss Mili Thomas, Miss Serena Kurin, and Miss Annie George for their support in managing today's function. Last but not the least, I want to thank you all for being here and gracing us with your esteemed presence. Without your continued support, we would never be able to put on events like these. So thank you. Cheers.
Thank you, Vishwesh. Kindly rise for the school song.
Our own English high school, like a bright shining light, dispels all the darkness in our hearts and our minds. Its blue and white portals sure fill us with pride, with strength and with courage, the will to do right. We vow to be honest and loyal and true. In the classroom, the sports field, we love to follow every rule. Our founders, our teachers, we honor and cheer. Their pains for our welfare in the lands have no peer. Our own English high school stands up for the truth, like a city set high in the service of youth. Our blue and white banner, an inspiring sight. Our glorious motto is lead kindly light.
Thank you all for giving us your valuable time. We hope you have a great evening.